Well, hello there, friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's time for Facebook Live. Boy, those Wednesdays really sneak up on us, and they get here before we know it. I'm really excited tonight to do a little color blending and some die cutting, and we're going to use this really neat stamp set called the Warm Welcome Bundle. This is kind of a sleeper in the catalog, but I'll tell you, once I started playing with it, lots of fun. So, before we get started, as you come aboard, please sign in. Let me know where you're coming from. And if you have any questions or feedback, don't hesitate to put it in the comments. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to flip the camera down. And we'll be able to see the desktop here. Let me get the computer to catch up with us. All right. So tonight's stamp set is in our mini catalog, and it's on page 66, and it's called Warm Welcome. It is the bundle, so we're going to use this really cool stamp set. And we're going to also use the die cuts because they're kind of unique dies to make this. We're going to use this door tonight to make our main card. So let me get this out of the way. And we're going to start with our happy note. Trying to make stamping easier. I introduced this concept of having a happy note. So this is basic white, cardstock, 2 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And I have these around and either in basic white or very vanilla. You could use colored if you wanted, but I find just having the white and very vanilla is a great way to start by making a happy note. And this is designed so when you start with a brand new stamp set, not sure what to do, make it easy, make what you're trying to do smaller and not intimidating. So let me show you the stamp set here a little closer. Tonight, we're going to go ahead on our happy note, and we're going to use this arm with the flowers and then some of our sentiments to make our happy note. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use literally my black tuxedo black Memento ink here and keep it really simple. So I don't know about you, but when I'm making something like this, and if you've been watching when I've been making my happy notes, I have this kind of, I guess I'm most comfortable always putting something over here on the left. Tonight, because of how the arm holds these flowers, it kind of forces me to do it on the right, and I'm glad to do it a little different tonight. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to put the arm right on the edge here and down a little bit because I want my sentiment to be able to be just a little bit above my image. Since this is photopolymer, this set is photopolymer, I am using the Pierce mat. Excuse me, a little dry throat here. All right, so we've got that. Then I'm just going to take my sentiment. I like this welcome, so I'll ink up the welcome. And I'm just going to put this a little closer to me so that I want this really up to the top. Okay, of my happy note. So we've got our welcome. Now these sentiments that I'm using are from the Warm Welcome stamp set. And this very small print says "To My Home." And I want to put this right underneath the welcome. And there we go. Welcome to my home. Now I actually, in making this today, thought of another way to use a happy note. I thought it would really work well to have this. Let's say I'm having some ladies over for a little lunch. I could put their name on here. So this could be my nameplate. If I wanted to use this by itself, I could put a little kickstand back here to have it, you know, sit up on the table like this. I could just lay it on the napkin, and probably, you know, a lot of different things that I could do with it as well. But I thought that was very simple. And if I wanted to even, you know, kick it up another notch, I could do a little coloring on here with the flowers and the leaves, just to make it stand out. But I really liked it in black and white. So there's an example of a happy note and another way that we can use these very simple cards. All right, now let's move on to the main event here. Let me show you the card we're going to make. So this one is going to be on fresh freesia cardstock, and I just thought this was so sweet. So we're going to do some color blending to make this look a little different. You know, you could go and make this look like a wooden door, and you can do all kinds of things with this. When we had, I believe it was the On the Horizon paper, you can put that in this door opening and make it look like a wood door opening into a nature scene, you know, where you could have some water and then trees, which is really cool. I don't happen to have that right now, but that idea strikes me, so I thought I would share it. Making this a little bit more whimsical today. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me first bring out the parts and pieces here that we need so that you'll have those measurements. Remember that I do put those in my newsletter every week, and I am going to start putting them also on my blog for people, but they're not there yet. So you still need to get them from the newsletter right now. So if you're not on my list, go ahead and sign up. Okay, so let's get started with the paper that we need for this card. So this is a half a piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, and then I'm going to score it right here at 4 1/4. Oh wait, I need to put it towards the bump, right? So let's get our bone folder here and just give it a nice crease. There we go. All right, so we've got our card base. Then we're going to need the white card front. So that is, let's see here. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I'm going to use the same size to stamp, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to need an insert here for the inside of my card. Since it's fresh freesia, I want it to be white like this one. Let me just go ahead and cut that quick. Usually I have card fronts all ready to go, but it looks like tonight I don't. Let's just cut that quickly, and then I'll have a number of them ready to go for the next time that I need it. So let's go ahead, and how I would cut this is, let's go 5 1/4 because we want a little border, remember. So 5 1/2 would be making this in half. 5 1/4 makes the card front size or the card insert size. So I'm going to make one of those, then I'll do it again here, 5 1/4. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this here, and I'm going to go 4 inches because the full card is 4 1/4. So I'm just going to leave that border. So we've got 4 inches. Now there's the insert we need for this card. But let's just finish cutting these here. So I have another one. And then let me just cut these as well. 4. I know you can't see this. I don't have enough room on my desktop here, unfortunately. Sorry. And then 4 here again. So, all right. So these are for another day. Like I said, I usually have those all cut and ready to go. All right. So this will be on the inside, but we're going to have to stamp on that too. So I might as well leave that right here. All right. We're going to do a little die cutting then. So I have a little extra piece of fresh freesia to do the heart. I have a, let's see what the size of this little strip is. I think this is one of the strips that we usually have when we cut what I just cut. And this is a 1/2 inch and by 5 1/4, and that's going to be for our sentiment that we're going to make into our banner. And then I just have a couple other scraps here, you know, a little over 2 inches by 1 1/4, and that's for stamping and cutting out the hands for this card. So that's when we get to the die cutting part, but we're going to have to stamp on this for the hands, and we got to stamp our door. And then we're going to also be stamping our banner and the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and get that stamping done first. So let's start with the big star of the show here, our door. And it's really cool how this door, you can make it look like you're inside looking out, or you can do it like you are outside and you're looking in, depending upon what you do with it. When I have a big stamp, I like to do my ink upside down like that. And let's just make sure we've got all of this on the white. And I'm just going to push down. This would also be a great stamp to use on your Stamparatus, the stamp positioning device, just in case you would miss one part of this or not push down enough. You could always just flip it back, put more ink on it, and do it again. But let's cross our fingers that this is going to be just fine. There we go. It's a little crooked on there, but that doesn't matter because we are going to cut that off. Now, you know what? There was a little lint on that stamp and it made a mark on the top of there, so I actually have another one stamped. We'll go ahead and use that one. I don't like that that lint is there. I would flip it over and redo it, but we'll go ahead with the one that's stamped just fine. And that sometimes you can't see on the stamp before you actually stamp it. So it must have been a piece of lint on the stamp pad. Okay, so we've got the door. Let's go ahead and do our banner here. So this one is going to say, let's spend time together. So we'll stamp this up. And I'm going to want to have some room on each side to cut this into a banner. So I'm kind of giving it a little room on each side so I can decide how wide I want it to be. So we've got that to make our banner. And now we'll do our arms here. Okay, and this could be coffee, cocoa, tea, whatever you like as your beverage of choice, but it looks like it's steaming here. So we've got our little hands. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and do the inside stamping. And I'm going to just keep going with my black, my Memento black. Some people use black for all of their sentiments and everything. Sometimes I, you know, actually go with the colored cardstock or contrasting colors. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day or what inks I have with me when I'm doing my cards. Okay, so this is my door is always open to you. So let's just kind of put this right in the center. Okay, so we've got that done as well. Let's close this up. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do some color blending here on our door. Actually, I'm going to move this out of the way so we can just put this right down on the desktop here. I've got two different blending brushes, and I'm going to do two different colors here. So I'm going to do Mint Macaron. And then I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia. But I'm going to just ink up my brush. You know, I'm lightly swirling it on here, bringing color onto the blending brush. And I'm going to start off of the paper that I've stamped, and then I'm going to come across. And I'm going to kind of do this so that I have half of this with one color and half with the other. And you can keep blending until you have it, you know, to the degree of intensity that you want. So I do want it a little darker than that. So I'm going to come back and get a little bit more ink. And I'm going to rub it off over here and then come this way. I don't want any blotches. You know, like if you would put it here and just go like that, or when you first put your brush down, you can get a spot. I don't want to see that on here. I just want to see the blended colors. So, all right, that's looking pretty good. I like the amount that's on there. And I am doing this before I die cut it, because this skinny edge, trying to blend that and not have it pull back and forth would be a little bit more difficult. So that's why I'm doing it before I die cut it. Now let's get our Fresh Freesia. And we're going to do the bottom half of the door here. I think we can get a little more ink on here. These brushes are really fun. You know, because you can do daubers. I think this spreads the color out a little more, the daubers. You know, sometimes you can see a circle. Let me just put this so it's not under my hand there. So I'm just going to switch it around. Now the nice thing is when I'm done, I wash these brushes. And the ink comes out. I've seen that people have used some Dawn dishwashing liquid in case it doesn't all come out. So I've only washed mine in water. I haven't had to do anything different. So, but know that you have that option when you're wanting to clean them. Just kind of want to go over this center part so we see all color there. All right, so I'll just set these aside for now, and I'll be washing them when we're done tonight. Okay, so now to die cut this one, I'm going to just take this from my larger Sizzix. We'll use our mini cut and emboss machine for the smaller die cuts. But let me get my washi tape. And then there's actually two die cuts that we use for this one. So we first have the outside of the door. Oops, and I gotta put it with the cut side down. That would help. Okay, and I'm gonna put my washi tape on here so it doesn't move. And I like to stick it on my pants a little bit so it's not too sticky. I don't want to be tearing my paper. So let's just get this all lined up here. All right, and I'm gonna put that on there, and I am going to do a little piece on the top of this as well, just to hold this in place. Okay, and then I will go across both dies with this next piece of washi tape because I need to go inside the door. Okay. You think straight lines would be the easiest ones to set, but you can see if it's crooked a little bit easier, I think. All right. All right, I'm going to just push this through over here, and I'll bring it right back to show to you. Okay, so let's just pull this out of here. Okay, so that's scrap. Now I'm going to carefully get my washi tape off of here. Now actually, wouldn't this be a cool thing to actually put your sentiment on? We could actually do that. And you'd have that right in the center of the card. Anyway, that idea just came to me while I was looking at this. Why get rid of that, right? So pretty. Okay, so we've got this piece. And you guys, I'm sorry I'm not seeing any comments tonight yet. I see there's some there, but I'm not seeing them. Let me move this up a little bit. Hi, Kathy. I do love these colors together. Hi, Betty. Seeing the two of you here. Unfortunately, like I said, I haven't seen all of you. Okay, so we've got our door. That out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and let's die cut these. Now I'm going to use the cut and emboss machine so you can see me do it. So I'm going to bring in the little one here. Okay, and we're going to move that out of our way. Go ahead, put this down. Let's grab our, we have to have our base plate here, number 1. And then we need our cutting pad on the bottom here, number 2. And I'm going to put the purple here for the little heart we want to cut out. I'll just set that right in the middle there. Okay. Then I'm going to use washi tape around these hands so that it doesn't move. So let me just get this on here and just use one of these pieces I used before and just get the die lined up around the hands. And put the washi tape right over the center there and get that on our plate. And then I'm going to put the second cutting plate over top. All right, and I've got them all lined up, and I'll just run them through. Okay, we'll go ahead and take that out. There we go. So we've got our little bitty heart that we're going to put in the center there. And let's get the washi tape off of our piece of paper here with our other cutout. Okay. There we go with our hands. All right. I'm going to just put these right on my magnetic piece of paper I have here so I don't lose those tiny dies. All right, we're rid of all of this. Put these away. That die cutting sure is slick, right? All right, we're ready to put our thing together, except for I want to color these hands. And this time I thought I would use some watercolor pencils and a blender pen. So I've got my blender pen here, and I've got one of our sets of watercolor pencils. Let me just get them out here and try to find, let's see, I think I like the, I think it's a deeper, what are these? Rich Razzleberry and Melon Mambo, I think are what these two are. Okay, and let's see, we'll use, Bermuda Bay. Well, let's see, no, is this Pacific Point? I like that blue. Pacific Point and some Bermuda Bay. If I can find the Bermuda Bay. Nope, it's not that one. It must be hiding. There we go, Bermuda Bay. So we can get our stripes, right? And then I want to do a little coloring of hands here. And the tea bag. So let's do, not pumpkin pie, real red. What's this? Calypso Coral. We got a little early espresso. We'll see how light I can do that. I don't really have a tone that I'd like to for that, but all right, here's our, maybe if I put it on this white, you can more see what I'm doing. So I'm going to color in that tea bag first, just a little brown. Okay, and then I'm going to do the hands here. All right, and then we'll do them over here. And just by doing things with different amount of pressure, I can make things look lighter or darker. I'll also be able to blend that out a little bit with my blender. Oops. Let me check this other side here. That helps take any of the, you know, pencil marks away. It kind of smooths out the whole image. Okay, and then to get the color I was using off of it, you just put your blender pen on the paper. Okay, let's go ahead and do the two-tone sleeves here. That doesn't show up very dark, but I'm going to blend it just a little bit. Okay. Get those pink tones off there, and then we'll go ahead with the blue. funny, after having gotten the blender pens, I haven't used my watercolor markers for quite a while. All right, then we'll just put a little bit different color blue on here. There, if I turn it this way, it works a little better. Okay. Hi, Betty. The other Betty. There's a couple of you Bettys. All right. So we've got that colored in. Oops, gotta clean off my blender pen. There we go. Now we're ready to put our card together. If I can cut out this banner here. Let's see, I'm gonna cut a little bit off of this side. And then I want to make the other side about the same distance. So we'll cut that off. And then I'm going to do the, just taking a snip right in the middle. And then I go from the corner to the end of that snip. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And I've got one half of the banner. And then I'll do that again. All right, so we've got our banner. And I don't need this. I am going to restamp this though, because I want to do the having the pretty colors on the inside. So let's get our black ink pad back quick. Go ahead and stamp this up. I think that will really add to this card. It'll be kind of a surprise when it gets opened. This is such a nice, fine font, yet I like the size of the words here. So let me get my stamp pad again, so hopefully we get a nice image here. And I'm going to center this right in the middle of this rectangle. There, I like that a lot better. All right, now let's go ahead and put it all together. So I am going to do some dimensionals, and then I'm going to do some gluing straight down too. So the first thing I am going to do is this whole white piece is going to be on dimensionals, but I'm not going to adhere that right away. I am going to get the hands on dimensionals, and I want to get those in here before I glue down the door, because I do want them popping up. And I want them under the door frame. So let's get some small dimensionals here, the mini dimensionals for the hands. And I'm going to do one right at the end of that arm and down here at the end of that arm. Now that is going to make the door frame pop up a little bit. And then I'm going to do one kind of right in between there if I can. All right, so let's go ahead and just pull these adhesive tops off. All right, and now I want to make sure that I have the door where I want it to be, because I'm going to be gluing that down next. Okay, and then I want this right in the center. I want to make sure the cups stay standing up straight. Okay, and let me just, all right, so those are straight. Let me go ahead and put glue on the back of the door. And why I'm using the multi-purpose glue is because in case it does not end up right where I want it, I'm going to be able to slide it just a minute for about a second or so before that glue, you know, gets tacky and totally attaches itself. It gives me a little leeway. I need to make, let me get out my silicone mat here so I don't get glue on my desktop. All right, and I need to make a very thin line, obviously. You could use, if you have the very thin glue, you could do that. But this glue works great. You just got to not press hard. If it's a brand new glue bottle, I'd be really careful. Okay, so let's just turn this over here. Bring this over. And remember that I want this to be in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to actually put full dimensionals on the back of here to pop up the whole white card front on the top of the card. And this time I'm going to use my regular size dimensionals, a little bit easier. Mini dimensionals will obviously work. But there we go. Let's go ahead and peel these off. Okay, so let's get our card front here, and I'm just going to center this the best I can. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. So I'm just going to put dimensionals along the very bottom of this and then put a little glue along the top, and that will sit straight then. So this is the top. Let me go ahead and just put my little thin thing of glue right here. Okay. And then I'm going to put the 3 little dimensionals right down along the bottom here. And take the adhesive off. Okay. And then I'm going to just do that so the glue is on the top and the dimensionals are riding right beneath the white. Okay, and then we've got our teeny tiny little heart here to put in the middle of above our little cups. I love all the details Stampin' Up has when they do a set. I remember when I used to try to put things together, you know, when I didn't know about Stampin' Up and I didn't know about sets. Oh my gosh. So we've got our little, whoops, straighten it out, press it down. I'll tell you, that doesn't want to stay where it should. Now I'm really happy that there's glue. All right, so that's our front. Let's go ahead and glue our very happy insert now on here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, and you could actually double layer this now that you have that colored in there. That would be very pretty. You know, you could put mint macaron, or the reason I'm doing this is I got too much glue. So I'm just trying to spread it back towards the center. You could layer it with mint macaron, and that would really pop on the inside of the card. But I don't want to start cutting again. But that would be very, very pretty. All right, I do like that compared to the other one. This is not bad, but I really like the colors a little bit more. So there you have it. All right. So I like that we used some different colors here. Oh, you know what I forgot? The doorknob. So the doorknob on here is actually iridescent pearl basic jewel. So let me go ahead and put that on here with my take your pick tool. These are really pretty. White pearls are pretty, but I'll tell you, with the iridescence of these, they're remarkable. Okay, get right on the doorknob. There we go. So there you go. If you were doing different colors, you could do a different color doorknob. But anyway, I really like those. So there. Now you can see that we have our iridescent. So any questions? Now this is still in the mini catalog, so you can still get this set. I want to show you something in this set. I haven't made the card yet, but oh, I love this. Look at this little set of shoes for my family, you know, my husband and me and our son. That would be great, but I love the shoes in front of the door. Do you have shoes in front of your door? We always have shoes in front of our door. So that reminds me of home and welcoming people to our home. But anyway, let's see. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, Mary Jane, thank you. Thanks, Betty. All right. Well, just a reminder, if you like this, I would appreciate any of your reactions and any comments and feedback. And if you would share this with your family and friends, I would really appreciate it. The more people we can introduce to stamping, the better. I don't know about you, but it sure does make me happy every day. So let me go ahead and flip this up. Take just a minute. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me and Plum Crazy Stamping for Facebook Live tonight. Once again, this was the Warm Welcome Bundle. And what a great card to send to a bestie. So anyway, thanks again for joining me. I'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday when I'll actually be coming to you live from Stamp Camp. So I'll see you then. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.